so glad you're both here. Charles is usually in a meeting in the afternoon, so he always misses it. I'm glad you're here. Good morning, Captain KB. How are you today? So I've gotten several private messages, on Facebook mainly, from friends of mine that are concerned about the hurricane. Hurricane Michael is making landfall right now in Florida, and I understand that maybe for some of you in the rest of the country aren't really aware of how big the Gulf Coast is. So rest assured that Hurricane Michael it's almost 700 miles away from us. So it's not it's a blue sky day here. So it's not affecting us at all. We won't get any rain out of it or anything. So rest assured, we're fine here in Houston. But thank you for your concern. I appreciate it very much. Let's see. I can't see without my glasses. I have my comments right here. I'm just gonna move on. So anyway, if you follow me on Instagram, I know I say that every day, but there's a link in the show description. You can follow me if you want, because I like to give photo updates of how my day is going. And yesterday, as I was doing the show in the afternoon, I mentioned that they were still moving boxes into the house, right? Well, they were here until almost 5 p.m. yesterday. They were, all the furniture's back. It was so cool because they brought packages of those little felt feet, and they put little felt feet on every single piece of furniture they brought in. And I know they're just covering their bases because they don't want to be responsible for scratching anyone's new floors, right? But I was thinking, I should have gone to Home Depot and gotten some before they got here, and it turns out they brought some with them. So that was really, really fortuitous. I don't think they were being kind. I think they were covering their bases. But it was really, really fortuitous that they did that. Because now, if I do want to move a chair or something, they all have felt feet, and I can just kind of scoot it here or there. But if you follow me on Instagram, you saw that what's going to be the dining room used to be the living room. It's full of boxes. Full of boxes. When I got done with the show yesterday, I went out there and it's like, they must be finished because the room looks pretty full. And I went out there and they had 50 more boxes to bring in. I have a feeling, this is what I'm thinking. This is what's making me feel better about it, is, when you go to the grocery store and you ask for plastic instead of paper, right? So they're gonna bag up plastic and they put one thing in a plastic bag and then pull it off and then put two things in another, where they could have put 6 things in that one plastic bag. I have a feeling once I start unpacking these boxes that they erred on the side of packing material. I have a feeling each box doesn't have a ton of stuff, because honestly, I thought there'd be half the boxes that are out there. I know I'm just fooling myself. I'm sure it's just crammed full of stuff I don't want anymore, but we'll see. So if you saw the picture, you could see that it's literally floor to ceiling. They left a 2-foot walkway around the entire outside of it, and then floor to ceiling solid boxes. Unfortunately, what's great is all the boxes are numbered. They're actually labeled with what room they came out of, which will help tremendously. And also they kept an inventory list. So there's actually a paper inventory list that has, essentially what's in every single box. So if I really need a box, I know what number it's in because I can look at that. However, hashtag it's always something. They came off the truck in random order, so they're randomly placed in that room, and they labeled the tops of the boxes. So if I look at the box, I can't see what number it is. I have to tilt them all over. So I have to pull them all off and tilt them all over. I can't just look at the columns and numbers. I have a strategy though. This is my strategy. Gotta have a strategy, right? So what I'm going to do is, when I go to do the unpacking, is I'm going to separate the boxes out by categories and move them into the rooms they're going to end up in. The new living room probably is not going to get much because none of the knick-knack shelves or anything ended up in there. They ended up in other rooms. So I'm going to move like these shelves here. These are all books. So I'm going to move all the book boxes here into the guest bedroom. And I'm going to first get everything categorized because I kind of know where everything's going to be before I start opening boxes. I think that'll be a better strategy. This I'm going to show you over here if I can. See that? Where's my finger? See that unit right there? That's from IKEA. It's actually taller, but I can't make the camera go up. It's from IKEA, and it's well, maybe I can't. If you're seasick, I'm sorry. You see, it's got glass on the front of it. So what I've decided to do is that's going to be my crafting niche. So, you know, some of you know I've crafted here and there over the last few years. So since I'm giving up the whole concept of a studio that I'm just turning my whole life into performance art, I don't know. I needed a place that I'm going to keep my my crafting supplies. So those that I just show you, that here in the guest bedroom library is going to be where all my crafting stuff goes. So I'm going to put the books there first, or put the boxes of crafting supplies there, put the boxes here. Anyway, that's my strategy. Unfortunately, yesterday they ended. It took them 3 hours longer than they expected, which doesn't surprise me, but I didn't have time to go to the grocery store. So thank goodness for the Instant Pot, because I took a pork roast out of the freezer and I cooked it in the Instant Pot in 40 minutes and it came out amazing. It melted in my mouth, and I cooked it from the frozen state. So being able to cook from the frozen state is another reason why everyone loves the Instant Pot. Captain DJ says that looks sleek. Yeah, I love the furniture from IKEA. This unit here, these cubes, I don't know if you can see it. It's a fascinating system I got years ago. You can see how there's a seam right there. See the seam? And if you were to look at it, there's a seam here. Oh, that's off camera. There's a seam here, here, and here. So this, and you can see there's a seam right here. So that unit here, which is like a cube and then partial cubes, that's one unit, and it's actually put together with dowel rods. And so you can take this unit completely apart and reconfigure it in all different configurations. And when I very first got this, I lived in an apartment downtown that had this really ridiculously long hallway from the front door to the actual living area, because, you know, there's probably another apartments, you know, snuggled in like Tetris, right? So I took this and I made it go like up and then down and then up and then down, kind of like cat ears. And so it had lifts and levels and lots of places to put things. So that's a lot of fun, but I kept it in this configuration, which is essentially just a big rectangle, because I'm going to put my books back there. Plus it fits here in this guest bedroom that way. But I really like this. They were designed for trade shows. I'm not sure how I found it. I got it off the internet machine. Captain Kristen said, I made an al pastor flavor inspired pork roast the other day. Smoked paprika, chili powder, pineapple, cinnamon, and onions. That sounds delicious. I love meat that has pineapple with it. I'm just a sucker for it. One of my favorite things to do with pineapple is to get thick slices and grill it. Because when you grill pineapple until it has the black lines on it, it caramelizes all the sugar in it, and it tastes so good. It's making my mouth water. Food. I love food. Captain Charles says, Instant Pots rock. They really do. And actually, I haven't, the Instant Pot, the 6-quart one I have it in my Amazon product page, which there's a link in the show description. But when I was just at Costco the other day, I saw they got a whole new batch of them in. So I'm sure they're still the hottest product on the market right now. I know last year Amazon said I think Amazon said they were the #1 bought items for gifts. They sold out of them. You couldn't get them. So if you want an Instant Pot before the Christmas gift giving season for yourself, better get one now. They're absolutely wonderful. I can't emphasize enough that if you like to make deviled eggs, hard boiling eggs in the Instant Pot, they peel perfectly. It's like sorcery. I don't know how it works, but you crack the egg open and the hard boiled egg kind of just falls out of the shell, like with no effort. It's absolutely amazing. It's the most expensive hard boiled egg maker I've ever had. But it's worth it because I love, oh, if you love egg salad, I love egg salad. What you can do is take a Pyrex bowl and you crack a bunch of eggs into it so they're out of the shell. Cook it in the Instant Pot till they're done, and then you flip that out over onto a like a chopping board and just take a knife and chop it up and you have egg salad. Easy peasy. Well, you mix stuff with it, but it makes it really easy. Captain Sindette says she really wants one, but she has a rule that something must go before she brings something new in, and she loves everything she has. Good for you. You know, when I go through these boxes, I'm really going to reevaluate how much I love when I open the box. You know, I think I said it yesterday on the show. What I realized is once the house got emptied out, it became the house I fell in love with before we bought it, because it was kind of like rebooting it, right? It was empty. Excuse me. So it was kind of nice. It's like, oh, I remember this feeling. This is why I like the house. You know, it's a little bit bigger than I remembered it because it was full of stuff that I've collected over the years. So what I think I'm going to do here in the guest bedroom, maybe that wall over there, I don't know which one. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a shrine to my vacations. So I think I'm going to somehow set up some situation over there where every single vacation souvenir I've ever bought over the last 51 years all ends up there. You know, like TGI Fridays has all that stuff all over the ceilings and the walls. I'm going to do it on one wall in the guest bedroom. And so if I look at it, then I can see all my vacation stuff. I've had it. If you don't put things together by categories so that makes a visual impact, the word image I like to use is, it turns into visual dandruff. You know, it's like just sprinkled everywhere and it's like, what's that? But if you put it all together in one place so you have something to look at, I keep looking at that wall because there's a blank wall right here in the guest bedroom. Hey, wouldn't that be funny? Because isn't that the theme of having guests? They're traveling, right? So I could have a little guest book set up in the middle of it all so they could sign in, and also maybe my guests could look at all my treasures from all my travels. I'm excited. I think it'll be fun. So as I open the boxes, if it's a vacation souvenir, bringing it in here, putting it on the shrine. It just sounds like fun. And then if I want to look at it, it's right there. Captain Charles, that's my whole house. Yeah. Art from cruise ships, deco stuff is from trips mostly. Love having reminders everywhere, absolutely. You know, I absolutely love traveling. I love going everywhere. I haven't been to Asia yet or Australia, or Africa even. But the places I have gone, I love remembering what I saw there, what I experienced, the food I ate, the people I met. So having souvenirs around, I contemplated yesterday, remember I said I contemplated getting rid of them. And maybe just taking pictures of the souvenirs so they're in a photo album. But I'm gonna try the shrine thing first. I don't know why it cracks me up. Like an altar to all my travels. It'd be a walk down memory lane, I tell you what. Somebody on Facebook started a thing where you're supposed to post your very first profile picture you ever put on Facebook and then your current photo. It's like, no. It's a no for me. I'm not going to do that. I don't want to see what happened between then and now, personally. But that's what would happen on a vacation shrine, right? If you have photographs of yourself and your loved ones, you're going to see the transition through the years. Well, when I get done with here, I'm not going to be able to unpack boxes today. I have a full agenda, but I do need to go get the groceries because now I really am out. You don't, again, want to know what I had for lunch today. It's like being back in college, just scrounging through the pantry for food. But I need to get some food in the house so that I am ready to go. Tomorrow, just so you know, tomorrow the show will be at 11 a.m. like normal. So if you like that time frame better, that's when it's going to be. I'm not sure if I prefer it one way or the other. I don't know. And be sure you've hit the alert button when you subscribe, because I have a few things up my sleeve for this weekend, and I think I'm going to go live spontaneously. So if that interests you, make sure that you've hit the alert button so you know when I've gone live, because I have a few secrets I haven't told you. Well, I told Kristen if she's here. Good morning, Captain Terry. It's good to see you. Captain Charles prefers earlier. You have more viewers then too, I believe. Well, yeah, in the morning, I've noticed yesterday in the afternoon, I think because I had set it up in the morning and said I was coming back, I actually had quite a few viewers live yesterday, Charles, in the afternoon. But today, it's kind of what I expected. But if you're here and you're enjoying the shows, please give them the thumbs up before you leave. I am going to skedaddle and get back to my chores. I have some laundry to do and some groceries, and get caught up. I just realized it's been weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks since somebody didn't show up at the house at 8 in the morning to do some work. So it's kind of like, there's this feeling of, the dogs are home and they're resting. They've been at daycare so much and they're exhausted from it. So it's kind of like this is the first day that things are kind of normalized, not counting what's in that dining room there, and the fact that I'm still sleeping in a bar. But you know what, Captain Charles? Just because you're in charge of your house, Charles, doesn't mean you have to do everything. I'm just saying, automate and delegate whenever possible. Say it with me, everyone. No matter what life throws at me, I have the ability to make this a fantastic day. Okay, I love you guys so much. I'll see you tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central in the USA. Bye-bye.